Good afternoon. We have light snow showers and blowing snow creating visibility issues. That will continue through this afternoon with a high near 10 Sioux Falls, 6 Aberdeen, 11 in Pierre, and 16 in Rapid City. Becomes windy overnight for all of KELOLAND with blowing snow. 4 below 0 the low in Sioux Falls, 6 below Aberdeen, 4 below in Pierre, and 6 below in Rapid City. We have a winter weather advisory in place through tomorrow morning. We'll take a look at that coming up as we begin midday in KELOLAND.
Live from KELOLAND Media Group, midday in KELOLAND.
A bill which could allow the Delbridge taxidermy collection to move out of state, plus.
Lawmakers are barreling toward the latest deadline to avert a government shutdown. I'm Natalie Brandt on Capitol Hill with why there's also concern about a spending standoff over the southern border.
Good afternoon, and thanks for having us in. Winter weather advisories are in place for some southeastern counties in our viewing area. Due to this, some schools have and continue to cancel classes early, like Chamberlain, Tri-Valley, and White River. You can see a full list of closings and delays, as always, on KELOLAND.com. It's also scrolling for you right there at the bottom of your screen. Meanwhile, you can keep track of these changing conditions by downloading our handy KELOLAND Storm Tracker app. You can find live Doppler radar, you can get views of conditions across the state, and of course you can check out our helpful live cam network. And if you capture pictures or video of the storm, make sure and send those over to us. A couple ways to do that. One is by emailing it via ushare@keloland.com. You can also use social media, Twitter or Facebook, to send it to us. Turning now to a first look at our midday forecast, we have snow. It's blowing out there, and about noon, 1:30 today is when it's really going to start to get heavier, right, Megan?
That is right. That is about when all those school closings are happening, so be sure to check in your area. Right now, that blowing snow here in Sioux Falls at 7 degrees. North winds are at 11 miles an hour, but we have some stronger winds in central and western South Dakota. There is a look at Yankton with that snow coming down. Reduced visibility is 13 degrees. Northeast winds at 6 miles an hour. Here is a look at our visibilities. We are down under a mile in Sioux Falls and Yankton. Down at a half a mile anyway in Sioux Falls and Yankton. Valentine, a mile in Pierre, Aberdeen, Mitchell, Watertown, and 3/4 of a mile in Worthington. And this is all for that blowing snow. We have 13 in Yankton, 5 in Brookings, 3 in Sisseton, 2 in Mobridge, and 9 in Custer. And some stronger winds, like I mentioned, in central and western South Dakota. Right now, anywhere from 10 to 30 miles an hour, with some even higher wind gusts popping up. But our already cold temperatures and strong winds means we're talking about wind chill again. Right now feels like -8 in Sioux Falls, -15 in Watertown, -19 in Mobridge, and -23 in Faith. Here is a look at our snow showers. The heaviest band there just in southeastern KELOLAND, south of Sioux Falls towards Yankton as well. And those will continue moving through our area as we head through this evening and even overnight tonight. Winter weather advisories in place for everyone in blue through tomorrow morning, where we could see a couple more inches of snow and those very strong winds creating that blowing snow and reduced visibility. So for today, the strongest winds in central and western South Dakota. Light snow showers continue. 10 the high in Sioux Falls, 6 Aberdeen, 11 in Pierre, and 16 in Rapid City. The strong wind pushes into eastern KELOLAND as we go overnight tonight, creating some blowing snow issues. 4 below 0 the low in Sioux Falls, 6 below in Aberdeen, 4 below in Pierre, and 6 below in Rapid City. We do get a slight break from the wind as we head into tomorrow, but our temperatures are going to stay on the cold side with those highs in the single digits to teens, but we could have some more sunshine. We'll take a closer look at this system in just a little bit.
All right, thank you, Megan. Patients at the Avera Heart Hospital in Sioux Falls often come in from far away for specialized care. This can make it hard on loved ones who have to travel to be with their family member, but people may not know about an option the hospital provides. It's called the Prairie Heart Guest House. For about $50 a night, family can stay in a small hotel connected to the heart hospital.
This hotel was built shortly after we opened our heart hospital because some of our doctors' wives noticed that we needed a place for families to stay.
And tonight's Eye on KELOLAND, we're going to show you how the hotel works and why people from outside of Sioux Falls find it to be a great comfort. A bill in Pierre would allow the taxidermy collection at the former Delbridge Museum of Natural History in Sioux Falls to move out of state. The museum at the Great Plains Zoo closed in August after arsenic was found in about 80% of the roughly 150 items. The zoo determined the collection would need to be declared a surplus by the city and be decommissioned. The city decided to seek legislation that would give the city the option to transfer ownership to an out-of-state entity. In national developments, with time running out, the Senate is expected to vote on a bill today known as a continuing resolution, or CR, to fund the government through early March. Now, if approved, the measure will move to the House. Natalie Brand reports from Washington.
Lawmakers have until Friday at midnight to pass a short-term funding bill that keeps the federal government up and running.
Failing to fund the government by this Friday's deadline would harm American families and small businesses across the country.
But some hardline conservatives in the House oppose any stopgap spending bills that don't include deep spending cuts and address other issues.
Will you support the CR?
No. Secure the border, we can discuss funding.
Even if common ground is found on the short-term continuing resolution, lawmakers still face a standoff over a national security package that includes funding for Ukraine, Israel, and the southern border. Lawmakers are considering a more than $100 billion White House proposal that includes more than $60 billion for Ukraine. But Speaker Mike Johnson insists House Republicans would block it unless the administration agrees to toughen immigration policies on the southern border.
We understand that all these things are important, but we must insist that the border be the top priority.
After a meeting with the president and congressional leaders Wednesday, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer appeared more optimistic.
There was a large amount of agreement around the table that we must do Ukraine and we must do border. There was tremendous focus on Ukraine.
With aid to Ukraine all but dried up, there's concern delay in reaching a deal could give Russia a chance to make gains on the battlefield. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.